Hello everyone, it is I, Mitch. We are back with our monthly list of best PC games to play in March 2022. This month is really epic for this year, as some of the most intense and crazy fun games are releasing. Big month for Doom Eternal type shooting lovers. Without wasting more time, let's start with our first game. Coming up first, Ghostwire Tokyo. It's a first-person action-adventure video game where players can use various psychic and paranormal abilities to defeat the ghosts and spirits haunting Tokyo. Story-wise, nearly all of Tokyo's citizens have vanished mysteriously, and otherworldly spirits known as visitors have invaded the city, and you are playing as Akito, the game's protagonist, and are possessed by a spirit detective named KK, who, while having his own agenda, grants you supernatural powers. As you combat the spirits haunting the city, you may encounter a group of enemies wearing Hanya masks, who may unveil the mystery behind the strange events in Tokyo. While playing, you can discover iconic landmarks like Shibuya Crossing and Tokyo Tower, stunningly rendered with incredible detail and built to take advantage of next-generation technology. Up next, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Seems like a very fun adventure full of whimsy, wonder, and funky weaponry. You pick your hero and then shoot, loot, slash, and cast on a quest to stop the evil Dragon Lord. A girl named Tiny Tina will be your disorderly guide through an extraordinary tabletop realm which covers cities, mushroom forests, fortresses, and a lot more. There are lots of fancy guns and devastating spells to use in frenetic first-person battles. You use your firepower to kill legions of enemies, talking skeletons, land sharks, and colossal giants. Then crawl deep into dungeons for more loot. You can make a party also with some funny characters like loot-wielding barbarian or fairy punchfather. The game includes deep customization systems, including a multi-class system that lets you mix skill trees with abilities. You can enjoy the story solo or play co-op with up to 3 friends in online multiplayer. Coming in next, Babylon's Fall. From the acclaimed developer Platinum Games, Babylon's Fall is the new cooperative action RPG game in their signature combat style. You can team up with 3 other players to play or go solo to take on the Tower of Babel alone. The plot is, as the Babylonians perished, only their great tower, called the Ziggurat, remained. Now a new empire has come to pillage its ruins and steal its fabled treasures. Here comes in the player, who joins forces with other sentinels, having relics that grant unrivaled powers. You can choose your playstyle from many varied weapon types, each with their own distinct skills and abilities. At one time, you can customize your loadout to wield up to 4 weapons. Try your luck and skills as you climb the looming Tower of Babel to uncover its secrets. The game is releasing this March 2022. Up next, Shadow Warrior 3. It's a first-person shooter game with a blend of fast-paced gunplay, melee combat, and free running movement system. In-game, you play as Lo Wang, who has access to a large arsenal of firearms which can be used to defeat enemies. In addition, you also have a katana, which is limited to close-quarters combat. You can also use movement techniques including air dashes, wall running, double jumps, and grappling hook in almost every battle. At close range, players can execute wounded enemies. The game features more linear levels and a more streamlined upgrade system when compared with Shadow Warrior 2. Coming in next, TUNIC. It's a charming isometric adventure game with a healthy dose of Zelda's ingredients and an adorable fox protagonist. You are stranded on a mysterious beach armed with only your own curiosity. You will confront beasts, collect strange and powerful items, and unravel long-lost secrets. In this game, you may discover secrets, smash pots, and run wild in what looks to be the cutest adventure of the year. You can explore a hostile and intricately connected world of shady forests, sprawling ruins, and labyrinthine catacombs where you can fight enemies deep beneath the earth, high above the clouds, and in places stranger still. You can also collect the missing manual pages, bursting with hints and original full-color illustrations, and discover hidden treasures to help you on your way. Up next, Final Fantasy Origin, an action role-playing game that follows the storyline of a set of characters brought into a fantasy world to face the malevolent chaos. The story is set in the dark fantasy interpretation of the setting for the original Final Fantasy game. The main character is Jack Garland, a man consumed by a need to destroy chaos. Jack is accompanied by other companions, including newcomers Ash and Jed, who help him on his journey. Players can explore environments and fight monsters of the Final Fantasy series. Combat takes place in real time, with Jack being able to switch between 2 assigned jobs and use physical and magical attacks. Once an enemy's break gauge is depleted, Jack can perform a finishing blow that crystallizes the enemy, allowing Jack to harvest them and restore a portion of his magic meter. Coming in next, The Settlers. It's a classical real-time strategy city-building game. The game has a story-driven campaign, and there's a separate tutorial for the new players. The game features 3 different factions, including the Ilari, the Maru, and the Jorn. Like previous games in the series, the players start with a skeleton crew, and the player must grow their settlements by collecting resources, building farms for food, and constructing military structures for both offense and defense. The game offers a deep infrastructure and economy gameplay, used to create and employ armies to ultimately defeat opponents. There are various online multiplayer modes with up to 8 players, offering thrilling skirmish battles against other players or AI for long-lasting fun. Coming in next, ELEX 2. It's a vintage open-world role-playing game set on a post-apocalyptic science fantasy world of Magellan, with massive environments that can be explored with unrivaled freedom via jetpack. In ELEX 2, you will be able to move through the story any way you want. The game allows you to interact with a lived-in world, full of NPCs who will remember what you've done and react accordingly. There are also companions who may join or leave your group depending on how you behave. For gameplay, you can engage in both close and ranged combat with an improved control system. There are different weapons, both ranged and melee, along with magic abilities, and even a jetpack to travel around the world. Coming in next, Far Changing Tides. It's a puzzle platformer game where you will follow the emotional journey of a boy and his ship as he embarks on a voyage to find a new home. In this game, you can sail stormy waters, dive unknown depths, and explore forgotten ruins in a beautifully realized, flooded world. The gameplay involves captaining a distinctive seafaring vessel, which you have to use to cross the high seas, navigate intense storms, and along the way, you'll need to keep things functioning by unlocking parts, fixing faults, and searching the watery depths for precious fuel and salvage. The farther you travel, the more you'll learn about your ship's fascinating complexities. Last on our list, Instruments of Destruction. It's a vehicle building sandbox featuring advanced physics-based destruction. Here you can create crazy construction vehicles and use them to demolish buildings and complete various objectives. You can demolish every structure in the game piece by piece, thanks to a fully interactive physics system. And every object in the world interacts with the destruction in some way. You can build a vehicle your way, with an ever-expanding array of parts and pieces. There are parts ranging from simple splitters and joints to fully simulated treads and ropes. A large variety of parts are available to start the game, while more advanced parts, like giant chainsaws and rocket thrusters, unlock by playing the game. Each new part unlocks countless new possibilities, and you'll also unlock numerous pre-built vehicles that highlight the unlocked parts and provide inspiration for further experimentation. And with this, we wrap up our list of best PC games of March 2022. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more content like this one. See you next time. Bye.